Good evening there. Here we are on the final chapter of my documentary. Like usually, I advise you to take your coffee, wine, water, or whatever you want to consume, and let's get started. I warn you, the last chapter is a long one with many stories and will involve, like usually, some other creators. So I hope you sit comfy because we start.
Laura is the example right there. This is what this live was all about. It was totally impromptu, but this is what this live was all about. It's to prove that the drama community is in this shit for only themselves. They don't give a shit about missing persons. They just don't. And it was obvious because I could have offered information. I've been following this case from the beginning, haven't I? I could have offered information. And I love that she mentioned my name because I know that just a few of you are here from that channel. And I implore you, okay, to take heed in my words. There is a missing 5-year-old little girl out there. And these people in the drama community are interfering with an investigation to find her. And they're doing it for clout. Let's look at it from the other side of that mirror, okay? Let's look at it from the other side of that mirror, right? So let's say they're just looking for clout. Look at it this way, because this is the truth. They're looking for clout, and then they found a missing persons case that they can capitalize off of. And then they beat each other up over it. You saw how Laura has been on her panel all this time, and she just threw her under the bus. This is exactly an example of why they are not credible. That's all I'm trying to do, is show you the people that follow them. And if you care about missing kids, this is what makes them not credible. These are examples shown to you by them, not me, by them, that they're not credible. They're not helping anything. They're not doing anything. Share this shit. Share it. I don't care if you, don't give me any credit whatsoever. I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't. I don't give a shit. Just spread the word. If you're in the drama community, spread the word. Because there's nothing wrong with being in the drama community. There's nothing wrong with loving drama. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care. I'm not trying to fight drama. I'm saying stay the fuck out of missing persons cases. Stay the fuck out of it. Because you're fucking up this little girl's only chance of being found. And any other little girl that the drama community decides to insert themselves into. Stay the fuck out of it. I'm not saying not to do drama. Do drama. It's great. Right on. Cool. You know, people love reality shows. I'm not one of those guys, but people love reality shows. They love to see people arguing, blah, 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 blah. That's great. You know, but why do you have to drag a 5-year-old little missing girl into what you do? All right. So that basically just said during 5 months that she was handed over to the authorities in the United States, apparently Sophie Long suffered from violence from her mother and stepfather. This is the story and the complete chronicle, climbing an international bridge escorted by 3 women from the National Institute of Migration. A 10-year-old American girl wearing a fluorescent jacket approached the international boundary on the other side. The marshals were waiting for her. Is about the little Sophie who disappeared from Texas on July 12th at the same time as her father, Michael Long. Some videos were uploaded to social networks where they said the girl was mistreated and abused by her stepfather. So her father took her and I with her. The sheriff, Collin County in Texas, asked the FBI for help, and the marshals began the search because on December 11th, 5 months after her disappearance, they found us in Mexico with bulletins, said the sheriff's office of Collin County confirms. Wow, Ames, I love you, but you gotta brush up on your punctuation. Like there's like no punctuation here. I don't know where a sentence begins and where it ends. Collin County confirms that Sophie has been located in a foreign country and is in custody and protection. The necessary arrangements are made. 2:30 p.m. exactly, that here above the International Bridge, reform was delivered to the little Sophie by the National Institute of Migration to the U.S. Marshals of the United States when she crossed the border on her way to the dark vehicle where they were going to protect her already in U.S. territory, while the vans of feds returned to Texas already with the girl in the middle of the bridge. Mexican immigration agents and marshals exchanged the legal documents of the delivery. The father, the minor, Michael Long, continues to be detained in a place of our country, Ronaldo Lara Aztec Information Force. Okay, so yeah, so that's interesting. The big question remains now, what's going to happen to her? The big question is, where's she going to end up? Because at this point, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We don't have any answers right now as far as where Sophie's going to end up and who she's going to end up living with. But one thing that I got to say, though, is this is what we've been wanting as far as coverage goes. So it's mainstream media. So mainstream media is finally picking up on this, and I realize it's Univision, but Univision is like worldwide. Like every Spanish-speaking country has this.
Ironically, The Glare, 10 to Life and many other creators exploited this dramatic story, and they never stopped for a second to think that internet never dies. The damage will never be fixed. The little girl will grow, and she will grow having his entire dramatic story put out for everyone to see and judge. Good job for you guys.
I get so frustrated because it's such a simple thing for me, man. You know what I mean? And I get, I'm a little hungover from last night. You know what I mean? But, I guess your endorphins get lower or higher, however that works. I don't know how that works. But it's just like with these people, it's like game on, game on. Let's get the cash rolling in. And it's like, man, this is a kid. This is a kid. Like you're so focused on these parents, right? You're so focused on these parents, and they're like, acting a fool, and they're going on every YouTube channel, and they're getting drunk, and they're acting stupid, and blah, 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 blah. I get it, right? You know what I mean? They had their kids taken away from them. I get it. I understand. But why not think about the kid? What would the kid think of that, right? What would a 5-year-old little kid think about her parents being blasted all over the internet? What would a 5-year-old kid think about all of us acting crazy on YouTube? You know what I mean? Like
using her name.
You remember being 5? I remember
to
being
do it.
5. the fuck? The fuck? It's like it eats at my skin. I'm gonna let you guys in on something. When I'm not doing this shit, I'm tortured all the time. I'm tortured all the fucking time. Doing this and trying to do it the right way is what keeps me fucking together. That's real. It's real. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. You know what I mean? Like, no, I shouldn't have been a detective. See, Nancy Eileen, let me interact with you guys in the chat a little bit before I get too personal, because I almost fucking did. No, I shouldn't have been a detective. You know, like, I leave that to the professionals. There are professionals charged with the responsibility of doing this, and they're doing a good job. You just don't know what kind of job they're doing because they don't share that shit with the public. And the reason why they don't share that shit with the public is because of motherfuckers like Molly Golightly and fucking Laura. That's the reason. That's the only reason. People like me and people like any other YouTube creator that covers true crime that does it ethically, we don't get shared information. We're not taken seriously. You know why we're not taken seriously? Because assholes like MGL have 50,000 subscribers. That's why. That's why. Because there are too many assholes out there that look at her, an asshole, like she's not an asshole. When in fact, she's absolutely an asshole. And that's it. And that's it. Like, for her to fucking text me and threaten me with shutting my channel down because of what? Because I'm lying? I haven't lied once. I haven't lied once. I have taken content that I see and I break it down for what it is. I expose truth. That is the opposite of slander. Literally the opposite of slander. And I love that. Okay, let me read this. I mulled over.
All right, so this post was 4 hours ago from Frankie Jr. Okay, and as you guys know, for anybody who doesn't know, if you've been living under a rock, well, Frankie Jr. here is the brother of Shanann Watts, who was a victim a couple years ago of basically family annihilation. So Frankie's sister and two nieces, Bella and Cece, were murdered by their own father and husband. And Shanann was pregnant with a little baby boy named Nico. And since then, as we follow a lot of crime cases here, it's something that we do, you know, and I believe very strongly in it. But I believe that it can come from a really positive place and a good place. And I think it's important, in my personal opinion, that we hold ourselves as real crime creators to a certain standard. And unfortunately, since this unfortunate and rather horrible thing that has taken place to the Ruchek family, they have, on top of this thing, and they're having to live with it, they've had to endure some really awful abuse, threats, And abuse coming in many different ways. And one of the most common ways is people going on YouTube channels and seeing. Basically, that's what took place. There was this case took everybody by storm, and then people started seeing that there was a lot of buzz about this case, and then they started building YouTube channels. And then what they started to do was to get creative. And then somewhere along the way, close to the beginning, shockingly enough, everyone forgot that these were actual people who were seriously affected by a horrible, horrible incident that took place. And their lives are changed forever. Things that made their family whole have been robbed from them, which are these very beautiful souls. And so what happens is people forget that this is what these people are. And right, Mom, I get it, but yeah, once it's closed, that's where the obsession should end. Justice was served. There's a lot of other cases out there that really need justice, where the families of victims really need justice. And justice was served here. And when they say so, it is so, because the justice is for them. If it's for anybody, it's for them. They're the ones who suffered loss. They're the ones that suffered loss, nobody else. So if they say, hey, enough is enough, as a decent human being, it's our place to, as decent human beings, it's our place to respect that. It's just simply that way. Why do this if not for the advocacy of victims? Why do this if not for the means to try to do something, the means to try to do something to at least make a dent to where this isn't going to happen as often as it does? I realize that we can never change human nature. I realize that we're never going to cure sociopathy or psychopathy or psychoapathy. I don't even know how you say it. Psychopaths, they're going to be out there. These very sick people are always going to be out there, and they're going to do horrible things. But why do this if it's not for the sake of trying to at least create enough awareness to where, while these cases are going on, we can try to help these families get justice?
Sure. Let's pretend one more time that you are a victim's advocate. Let's pretend that actually this was not your first case when you savagely attack Rzusek family, especially Frankie. Let's pretend that never happened.
So what we're going to do today, I think, because Blowhard Boob Strangler went live earlier, and I'm just going to stream her shit because, she hates it. Just because she hates it. That's all. That's the only reason. Pure spite. Pure petty fucking spite. And I'm proud of it. Well, hold on. Let me now. You've been active in my chat, Hounds, I think. But are you or are you not a mod for Molly Go Lightly? Unless I'm confusing you with someone else. If I'm confusing you with someone else, I apologize. But I think that you are a mod for Molly Go Lightly. So before I start this, no, okay. All right. Okay. I am mistaken. Just make it. Oh, not anymore. Okay, so you had a change of heart. So you had a change of heart. Can you tell the chat why you had a change of heart? I'm just curious. Just curious. And I'm not being a dick. Like, I'm seriously, like, I'm giving you genuine respect because you've been in my chat many, many times. You've been a faithful subscriber for a long time, actually. Okay. All right. Well, you're welcome here. You're welcome here. Because really? Yeah. Soy dominicano también. Okay. Well, that is thank you. Shalima tongue. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like it. Yeah. Okay. So people with brains are finally seeing what's going on here, is what I'm gathering at this point. Yeah. And you know what? Even if you were still a mod for Molly Go Lightly, you'd still be welcome here. Just so you know. Doesn't mean I'm not going to call you out on it, but but you'd still be welcome here because I want her to hear and know everything that I'm saying. I love it. I love it. I love this. No, Molly Go Lightly is KJ on donuts, not steroids. Be clear about that. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this. Yeah, Alabama. Yeah, me too. Me too. God, and just the fact that Marissa is inserting herself now into the Oakley Carlson case is just really, really, really irritating, man. Like she has no clue that every single time, and literally every single time she has ever gotten involved in a case, poor results come, bad results happen consistently every single fucking time. Watts, Gurdon, Wells, like every time, but to have to be strong. I think that's what it is. I think I feel the need to defend victims because they're willing to endure. I can't imagine what they're going through when you've had a family member brutally murdered or they've just gone missing, whatever the case may be. You got to put yourself in their shoes as best as you can. And I've been that guy. Like when I first started YouTube, and a very, very
memory function partially activated. Engage.
I've been that guy. Like when I first started YouTube, and I very, very, very first started, I didn't even do my own live streams yet. I would just show up on people's panels here and there. Right. And I wasn't even doing my own live streams. And like, I would just get drunk with Critical K on panel and we would just talk about my whole thing mainly was I didn't like that. I thought that the Rucheks were exploiting the case in order to sell Lavelle and whatever, right? And then I criticized them for that. And it was easy to do so on Critical Case panel. And those were the rules that I had at the time, you know? And it was just like thinking about true crime, like they just weren't even like real people. It was just the setting, and I got caught up in that. And then just one day I was just like, this is fucking gone too far. This is crazy. And ever since then, I was just like, I can never ever think that way again. I can never ever do that again. That was like 4 years ago. And I don't understand how other people who do this, and they do it all the time, can't snap out of it like that and realize that what they're doing is really, really bad. And it's simply just being careless. It's simply a question of just being careless and looking at these people like they're not real people. Like they don't have feelings, and your actions cannot affect them in any way, shape, or form, or should not affect them, because it should just roll right off their back. Stay off the internet, they say, right? Well, they shouldn't even be on social media. If my family was murdered, I wouldn't be on social media. Maybe you would. You don't know. You don't know. I mean, you have no idea what that feels like. Like the moment I realized that, it changed everything. The very moment that I truly really soaked in that thought of, you have no possible way of understanding what that feels like. And you better hope to God that you never
do. The more you think about what getting an education gets you and what you miss getting hooked, the more you know that you really have no choice. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can do school or you can do drugs, but you really can't do both. Now, if you choose school, you get to go as far as your talents will take you. But if you choose drugs, you get to go nowhere and maybe get AIDS, get busted, even get killed in the bargain. So, you ask me, why didn't I say that in the first place? Why did I have to say it at all?
I'm going to be 150% honest with you people right now. I'm not even remotely sure this is a good idea, but we're going to do our best. All right. We're going to push through. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing well and having a fantastic New Year's. Happy New Year's to all. Hello. So I have both my champagne and my coffee. That's what kind of night this is. I may live through 2023. Here's to hoping. Cheers. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great New Year so far. Yes, this is not a stream for sober people. Just so you know, if you're sober, I mean, I hope you're enjoying it, but I wouldn't count on it. I definitely wouldn't count on it. Yeah, I have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. I have no idea what we're going to do. I'm in rare form, so I might go on a rant, or we will just find something to watch, and but we'll just see how this goes. This is just for those of you who the party wound down and you're a little too wired to go to sleep, but you're a little too drunk to, just sit around and not do nothing. So we can all just sit around and not do nothing together. But it's still the same psychotic, until you guys are ready to pass out, relentless, and lacking empathy type of behavior that you can imagine. It's sadistic. This guy's a fucking sadist. And what he does is he operates just within the boundaries of the law so that you can't do anything to him. Because if you get to the point that he's like subconsciously trying to do, if you get to that point, then he's going to cry victim. Because the only thing that's left to do is put your hands on this dude. And he knows it. And then he's going to cry victim, and then he's going to press charges against you, and he's going to use that for content. That's the kind of person this guy is.
At this point, the second part will start. This part will be mostly about heels in the air. A very delicate topic for me, and I bet I am not the only one. So before this part, I want you all to remember that none of us is an angel. We are all humans and we all make mistakes. When the bashing of heels in the air started, I was sad and angry in the same time, but I had this scene in my mind. Bear with me and imagine this scene. You are out on the streets and you see a person on the street that allegedly did something wrong. In a short time you see the second person hitting the first person. And as the seconds pass, you see a bunch of people brutally hitting the first person until he's down, bleeding, in so much pain that he can barely move, that he can barely speak. Curled on the ground in his own body fluids, punished by vigilantes for something that allegedly was wrong. Now ask yourself this: what if in one of these days the same thing will happen to me?
When it first happened, everybody's coming. I was watching The Jerk, or The Jerks, or whatever their names are. Okay. And all of a sudden, a dox pops up that JLR has been doxing me with for like a year. Pay no attention to him. He put it on Twitter. He puts it on his community post. I don't pay attention because, that's what you're supposed to do. Then the jerk, or the jerks, got hold of it, and I guess he did some more digging, and just threw it out there. This is out of the blue. Well, now, I say out of the blue. One of the women messaged me and said, we really like you, but we found this, and we're just wondering if you are this person and what you have to say for yourself, basically. And that they had legal papers showing the name with my channel. And I said, okay, well, you need to bring them out, show me. And that's all I said. Maybe an hour later, they're doing a live stream about me and about my racist blog, and they were just trying to protect the community from a racist because I guess they'd been screwed by somebody or something. Put up like pieces of my blog. They put up pieces of someone else's blog that said I had leaked autopsy photos, that I'm a white supremacist, and this was from one of the mothers in one of the cases. Okay. I did put two autopsy. They weren't like autopsy, like cut up or anything. It was clean autopsy photos and one of his fakes. It's a long story. But the mother had been carrying around a post-autopsy photo of her son for like, I don't know how many months, saying this is what they did to my son. They beat the hell out of him. Like, they made it look like the Emmett Till picture that you remember. Yeah. And so I was like, I don't know. We got this picture from the ME that he's recognizable. His face is what you would expect upside down in a gym mat for 16 hours. But not like that. So I put the picture out, She also said that they had hoisted her son on a meat hook and lowered him into a gym mat. I don't know how you would do that, but that's what she said. So the other, and this is months later, this is February to October. So I showed behind you had to do 3 clicks to get to it, warning you, it's an autopsy picture. When he first laid they first laid him on the table, his face was covered, I blacked the face out, there was nothing on the bottom, and it just showed his back was smooth. Like, there were no cuts on his back, he could not have been hoisted by that meat hook. Then they said his organs were stolen. Again, smooth back, smooth stomach. They hadn't done anything to him yet. Those are the pictures that I put up behind. I think I like the one, actually, that behind the 3 walls. So they're up there saying, I'm racist, and it's, Zab girl, now it's me. And I put up a minor child autopsy pictures, which I did. And I just explained to you how I did that. We would talk about it on Web Sleuth, no problem. Talk about them, sleuth them, get the documents. But when it comes to Trayvon Martin, you could only say that George Zimmerman followed him, stalked him, and killed him in cold blood. That's all you could say. Anything else was not allowed. Well, there was more to it, but I couldn't say it.
And again,
so I went and started a blog.
That's just how she thinks. And
I did say it. I said a lot.
She should be persecuted for her opinion of having one. I mean,
that turned out to be
back
right.
then or now?
No.
Okay, so why is she being slammed? So I mean, okay, people are saying she's a racist.
She's a fucking racist.
She just said she's not.
I don't care what she said.
She's an idiot. I need to say that without ever saying anything.
Are you listening?
I am listening, and
I'm sure she never
I know racists, and
okay,
they present themselves differently. It's
right,
dude. Yeah. They're not ashamed of being a racist.
No,
racist.
they are.
No, they're not.
That's the fun thing about racism.
I think that's a word people
throw
around. So what part of me working on that case is racist?
Dude, you could be prejudiced and have judgment.
I don't know what part of it is prejudice. It was a high profile case. We couldn't do it over there. That's it.
I'm not saying you are. Okay. I'm just saying like,
I'm saying you're racist,
but that doesn't make you racist. For
I don't care what Clara thinks anyway.
I'm just trying to understand this.
Yeah, anybody that would just sit there and just say it and say it, and because I did a meme, the one that said swindler's list.
Only 3 memes that we saw.
Who hasn't shared a racial meme or a meme that maybe is against
I think it's a white guy that's got against
homosexuals and whatnot? Who hasn't?
Yeah, there's homosexuals in it.
Like, who hasn't? Let's be honest. I mean, dude, I have in the past. I mean, doesn't mean I'm racist or not. No, I mean, you just and if you say you didn't, you're a liar. You're a liar.
So I shouldn't have touched that case, right?
Things.
I should not have done anything with that case. It's interesting.
Again, I haven't seen the memes, but
the one meme said.
What were they terrible?
Said.
Like kill all black people? Is that what it was?
No, yeah, that's what it said. Targets. One meme said swindlers list, and I think it had Eric Holder, Ben Crump, the attorney, Barack Obama, Sean King, and I think a couple of other people.
So it's more of a joke.
At the time, they were the ones destroying everything, all for stand your ground law. So they were swindling people for a law, and Trayvon Martin was that was a good case for them, for stand your ground. So I called them swindlers. I call white people swindlers. I call, if you're a swindler, you're a swindler. But it just so happens these cases were very high profile, and I'm a racist because I was
that site
stubborn.
Exclusively about black people.
Well, I'm sure there were white people around.
Why was the site exclusively about black people?
Because those were the cases. Ben Crump, listen to me. Ben Crump is an attorney. He also took George Floyd, which I agreed with. But at the end of Kendrick Johnson, I was done. I was done with his cases because it's bullshit. You can't win. I mean, they did win, but you can't win. So I did 3, and then there was in between, but it was on my blog. It was all happening at the same time. And yes, so the one thing that was horrific that I didn't know, I did know, obviously, I put it there. A blog called American Renaissance that used to do articles on Kendrick Johnson, Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman and what was going on in the case. So I recommended them. I didn't know what they were. I looked like another blog to me. So I put them on there so people could go and read about Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. That's what it was about. Last night, somebody pulled up. Oh my God, she had American Renaissance. This is Jared. I know who the guy is, Jared Taylor, but I didn't know it's time.
See, this is all fluff.
Horrible.
This is all fluff.
I know that it was
and
horrible.
information
I was
that doesn't
just,
matter.
oh my God. Right, but I didn't know that. I didn't know
It does matter. It
No,
absolutely
I swear.
Are you making the okay
This is-
sign? Really? You're making the okay.
It absolutely matters.
Oh my God, that's so funny. You just made the okay sign there. That's racist.
How?
That's racist.
No, I didn't.
You just made the okay sign.
Okay, so that's wrong. Come on, Heels.
That's racist.
It's not a,
right?
that's a gotcha moment. Come on. That's
I mean,
silly.
it's
But I understand where you're coming
and
from.
so it's silly to say because you cover a case with a black child.
Here, give me a second. Let me
Yeah,
be
okay.
politically incorrect again. You're fucking retarded for pointing that
I'm
out.
retarded and I'm a racist. I'm a retarded racist. Shit. That's
See, it's not getting anywhere because you guys are just going back and forth.
No, you just-
being butthurt.
I mean-
that's fine. But the reality is,
Did you say fuck my mother earlier?
are you a racist? And she already said no, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean,
I
but
said
she
that's
just,
your perception.
but she just proved that she is.
What am I going to say? I'm a rapist?
By everything that she just
That's
said.
ridiculous.
She didn't have to admit to being a
Well,
racist.
I said it though, right?
Except for defending her racist fucking rhetoric.
What is my
she
racist
did.
fucking rhetoric? What swindlers list? Black people can't be swindlers?
Keep talking.
Eric Holder, you never thought that?
Keep
You always thought he was a good guy?
And who makes everybody the police
Jesus.
of the internet and say,
I know.
hey, like this person's
Huh?
racist? And
Everybody was racist back
if
then.
she was racist, okay, if you really
I mean, it
want to
became
label
just-
people,
It just became like any other word.
no, but if you really wanted to label people as racists, they would not be ashamed of being racist.
Right, like Jonathan Lee Riches.
I don't know.
He is not ashamed.
No,
cares? I'm
if
just saying.
you ask Jonathan Lee Riches if he's a racist, he'll deny it. Like you are.
No, you can't deny it.
Well, because he's got a
You deny
grift.
it.
Like you are. You're
Well,
not.
because
Even though the evidence
is he hard me to deny it?
the evidence dictates that you're a fucking racist.
Okay, Heels, is it fair
Well,
to say,
I'm not sure.
yeah, maybe you have some racial humor?
No,
No, okay, listen to me carefully, okay?
and that
Because
doesn't
I'll
matter.
agree to it. Everybody,
Proof. Y'all had time to read it. It's in the
Exactly.
Wayback Machine.
Yeah, you're-
There's RSS feeds. Go read it.
You're a liar, and you're.
I
a
had it
racist.
open for two. Now I'm a liar. I'm a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
How? How?
Because you won't fucking stand behind your own shit. Stand behind
How
your
am
shit.
I not standing behind my own shit?
Keep the blog up. Keep the blog up.
yeah, but here's the
People
thing,
are
she
taking
already
the
admitted,
goddamn thing on.
Keep
Shit.
the blog up.
Heels, all right, hold on one second. Heels
Yeah,
already
it's not
admitted,
even your business anymore.
Heels already admitted that that's her
No,
blog.
it
Yeah.
is my business.
No, it's not.
everybody's business.
But
It's
everyone's seen the blog, right? I mean,
Yeah,
clearly
everyone's
you guys
seen the
already
blog. They
said
can
you
go to
saw
the Wayback
blog.
Machine.
Oh, doesn't matter if
But
you
I'm
put
not
it
going to have
private
people
or
taking
not.
my pages down.
Oh, yeah.
does it
poor
matter?
baby.
And
Yeah,
you called. You
everyone's
said I dirty
attacking
deleted.
you.
That was a lie.
Everyone's attacking you, right?
No, they're taking my pages down.
Get the fuck out of my face, bro. You're full of
Oh
shit.
man, come
Yeah,
on.
call me a liar. He has no idea. No idea.
Who's the scientific skeptic, by the way?
He's dope. That guy's awesome.
All right, calm down,
Yeah,
buddy.
he was
We're
awesome.
trying to get somewhere here, and I think everybody's just blowing the shit out of proportion here.
Is he actually in chat right now?
But he's lying.
Scientific
Yeah,
skeptic.
he is.
Hang on,
I
might bring you up, but hold on.
Oh, is he here?
I
Yeah.
endorse that guy 100%.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as he's not going to show a penis. But
I love him. No, he's great.
here's the thing, right? You guys are just bashing each other for stupid shit. When I look at it as an outsider, it's silly. It really is. You calling her a racist and
She is a racist. She.
it's different
Right,
from what
I
I
said
think
that.
now. Okay,
I
so
said that.
so then she's different. She has a different viewpoint. I don't care about the case, right?
Let-
It doesn't even
let-
matter, Claire.
Let Skeptic on.
Okay, can we let him on? Just
I love Skeptic, but
All
he's
right.
probably going to fix me out.
okay.
Let
well,
Skeptic on.
let him do
please.
it, and
I don't think he's going to call me a racist asshole.
well,
but-
let's see what
No,
this.
He'll be logical. He'll
Here he
be more
is.
rational
This
than
is
I am.
Hey, Bring.
this is
Hey, you.
Scientific
Hey, Skip.
skeptic.
Homie.
How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Glare. I'm good, Morbid. How are you this evening?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. Stop talking to me.
Oh, dear.
Go ahead. Tell us why you're up here.
I just got a notification that I thought was interesting that the Glare and Heels were talking. It seems like, Morbid, you clearly haven't done your homework. Heels, I do, obviously, we know who...
So what am I missing here?
You're missing that if you actually... Because I bent over backwards. I'm a... You know, whatever. I'm a scientific skeptic. We try to evaluate truth claims. It's a sort of a philosophical...
I need to do my homework for YouTube drama?
No, you need to do your homework for understanding what racism looks like. And
you don't think I understand what racism is? Is that what you're saying? You don't even know who I am, and you're saying I don't know what racism is?
You gonna let me speak, or are you just going to run your platform?
No, man, I'm questioning you. Is that a problem?
I bent over backwards based on the fact that I know who this individual is. She was actually inspired by my original work calling out bad acting and true crime, which is an extremely serious topic which requires competence and ethics and a certain consideration for victims and understanding how to handle topics which relate to things like understanding the ethics of investigative journalism, understanding the law, understanding how to have some compassion for people who have actually been real-life victims of actual horrific things in life. And if you actually, and I bent over backwards to give this person the benefit of the doubt because she was respected in this community and because the Glare and
that's so silly.
And myself and several others have all attempted to discredit and expose the amount of grifters who are come into this space.
Everyone's a grifter online.
Phenomenon. Yeah, well, fuck you. Clearly,
oh, it's not true? What, do you do this for free?
I do, actually.
You do this for free.
I fucking been teaching
this is your life.
Calm down. Skeptic, hold on a second. Skeptic,
so you're not monetized, is what you're saying?
I'm not. I frickin' made about $200 in the last year on YouTube.
Okay, hold on.
Does a grift have to be over a certain amount?
I have 125,000 subscribers on my Facebook forum, and I've never made a penny in 12 years.
So you just do this for what?
Because I enjoy educating people.
On what?
On science and philosophy. You know, I teach things like quantum mechanics, and ethics, and critical thinking, and skepticism.
What exactly is the problem?
You realize that some people
There's not a problem. He's trying to just say what he thinks.
Not grifting scumbags. You right? You realize? I mean, maybe you live in a cynical world where everybody's just.
Why are you judging me? You don't know me.
Everybody's a grifter.
Let's stay
including
on.
You are a grifter if you're making money off the internet.
Let's stay on topic.
Bottom line.
Okay, the issue is whether
you're not a very bright individual.
The issue is whether or not Heels in the Air is a racist.
Exactly.
I'm not a bright individual. Okay.
Yeah. So step back if you want to let some people talk.
Hold on.
Hey, Morbid. You're not informed on.
Yeah. No.
So the point is,
I'm just saying, stop lying, man.
Lying.
If you're making money on the internet, which clearly you are, because you said you made $200 at a certain point, right?
Teaching
off topic.
And philosophy with 2 master's degrees
so what?
And 40 years of education is considered a grift to you?
My bad.
Let's hold on.
Fax me your resume. Come on, man.
I will
stop it, Morbid.
My resume.
Morbid. Chill for a second.
You're an idiot, but you know
I'm an idiot.
You can kick me off.
Dude, I'm just asking you questions, man.
You're not a bright individual. You call anybody on the internet a grifter, and anybody that's monetized a grifter. You realize that there are legitimate people with legitimate skills that actually monetize and deserve to be compensated for their.
Okay, I'll shut up. You're right. I give up. Right? You're right. My bad.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Good. I'm glad you acknowledge.
Hey, skeptic. Calm down, dude. Like, just
I don't know this dumbass.
I get it.
Why are you attacking me? Did I call you an idiot? Did I call you a dumbass?
Calm down.
I listened to the conversation earlier, and he clearly hasn't done his homework, so he's not. He hasn't.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
calm down,
Okay.
dude. Just
So
I bent over backwards to give this. Well, because you don't understand the controversy and
Stay
the
on task.
harm and the hurt that's been caused by
Okay.
this scandal on the internet. And you
All
don't
right.
understand what it is that we attempt to do in this space, the Glare and Heels and I, which is attempt to expose people who are victim exploiters, who
Right.
make their money by
Okay.
spreading misinformation
You win.
and lies. Whatever.
Morbid.
Okay,
Come
anyway,
on, man.
I'd rather not
Hold
talk
on.
with
Hold
you.
on a second.
Anyway, so the point being that I bent over backwards to give Heels in the Air the benefit of the doubt, because I think it's important that we want to live in a free society where it's okay to criticize a black person. It's okay to criticize a gay person. It's okay to criticize a trans person. It's okay to criticize a woman, and it doesn't make you a misogynist or a transphobe or a homophobe or a racist if
Right.
you have a legitimate claim to make. The problem is, when I looked at Heels' blog, it was clear from the beginning, but then I bent over backwards to dig through the content, that it was disproportionately targeted at discrediting, humiliating, and insulting black people.
Exactly.
That is what racism is.
That's
So
exactly
if you
what it
actually
is.
read, and so we can talk about the particular cases. Benjamin Crump, okay, he's a black guy who carries, who covers black.
He's an exploiter.
Civil cases. He is an explorative, like
Okay.
Madeleine Albright, for example, when she
No,
covered
Benjamin Crump
Jews.
exploits families.
Lawyers,
Wow.
the fact that lawyers defend the interests of
No, it's not defending. Wasn't defending.
surprising. The fact that lawyers can be scumbags and can misrepresent information in order to represent the interests of their clients is nothing
He's not
new.
defending anybody. It's not a
But no,
defense
but
attorney.
You spent your attention focusing on Crump and
On black
and-
people.
and on that
Exclusively
other
black
family.
people.
But it was exclusively black people, and so then I
Because-
looked into more and more the things.
Exclusively.
You were saying things that were into accusing black people of being animals. That the reason
I did not.
black people
I
have
did
a
not.
reputation because they behave like
It's in your blog. What are you talking about? It's
It's
there.
in your blog, and it's not 10 years ago, Heels. It's
Bullshit.
on your Twitter
Oh my God.
account
Are you still
in
talking?
The last year or two, where you're saying racism, the low expectations of racism.
So
You're
what's the
saying
big?
that black people deserve
Hey,
the
scientific.
negative reputation that they get?
I didn't come up with the low expectations. That wasn't me.
And
So
white
scientific.
people
What's the
are not
problem here?
responsible.
What's the major problem? What
Well,
you already
no.
called me an idiot. You don't even know who I am.
Everything
Well-
on her blog was overtly racist. It was not subtle.
Overtly
It was not
racist.
open for debate.
It's not even fucking.
And
It's not even
she
subtle.
freaking
So what do you want to do to her?
She parroted.
What do you want?
every single. She parroted.
What's your end
every
game?
single
I want her
argument
to
from
admit
the
that she's a fucking
alt-right.
racist.
So we
I want her to
Alt right.
So that's going to make you feel better
Yeah.
Oh
if she
my
admits that she's a racist.
You are not a bright guy. We are having a
See,
adult
you're already-
conversation
see-
about an important topic.
Dude, the
But
fact that
do you not think that racism exists?
you're attacking me and you don't even know who I am, and you're saying I'm not a bright guy, you're an idiot, you're a dumbass. That says more about you than it does about me, doesn't it, Mr. Scientific? I didn't call you that. I never called you an idiot.
Do you understand
Fuck all that
that
personal
racism?
shit.
Do you agree that that racism is a real thing?
Dude, when did I deny that it is?
So why did you just fucking completely change?
I'm just
the
saying
topic?
it's terrible to say someone's a racist and label them publicly when
No,
they're
because
not.
Because we're look at you. Because they're not. How do you know that? You haven't even done your homework.
How do you know that? How
Because
do
I
you
just
know that?
cited Things that are in her blog that we
So
can
what's
go
in her
to
blog
multiply
specifically
present.
that makes her racist?
Go look at Burnt Toast video.
And who are you?
my
Jesus
God.
Christ?
She. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm out of here.
Burnt toast
Oh,
video
look
that
at you.
lied
You're
about
gonna
me.
quit. You're gonna rage quit, dude.
No, because
You're the
come
one
on,
calling
come
me
on.
names.
You are stupid, Morgan.
And when I give you a little bit of, when I give you a little pushback, you're gonna run away.
You're ignorant.
See,
I
you're
do
calling me
not
names.
need
I didn't
to-
call you names.
I don't need to make
Okay,
a
you have your
claim
own
about
opinion.
being-
I can't
don't
have
need
mine.
to- No, because
I don't know who you are. I don't care.
I can support my claims.
All
We'll
right.
support them.
You're talking shit.
I'm talking shit. I'm asking you questions, and you're
We
getting
have quotes
sensitive
from
about it.
Heels in the air.
Dude, you get a little bit
Yeah.
of pushback, and now you're being a little baby.
That white
Oh my
people
God.
are not responsible for the bad behavior of black people, and the
I'm about
reason
to-
that black
I'm
people
about to
have
rage quit.
have a bad reputation is because they behave like thugs. That is
Like what?
racism.
Like what?
You have
No.
said,
What?
I'm paraphrasing. but
Okay.
you
No, don't
essentially-
paraphrase because dog is not a paraphrase.
Do we have to go get the quote? I mean, it's been
Yeah.
presented
I
10
mean,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, where I said they're like dogs. Yes, you do. Or
I
animals.
said they were like dogs.
What did you just say? You said animals earlier.
I said your argument is essentially that you can't blame people for the way that black people behave and that their reputation is the effect of them behaving without class, without dignity, and without, civilized
You
mannerisms.
totally said that shit.
That is racism.
Where did I say that?
The glare, please.
You totally said that shit.
Where?
Totally said that shit in your blog.
I want to know where.
I mean, make the blog public. I'll fucking go through it. Make the
Exactly.
blog public. Why did you hide it? Why did
I
you
didn't.
hide
I
it?
told you what I did with it,
Burnt
Blair.
Toast has a video where she shows exact
Why did you
quotes
hide it?
from your blog, and you're hiding your blog because you're
Exactly.
humiliated and
Because
embarrassed.
she knows she's
Oh
a
my God.
fucking racist asshole.
Recognize it.
I wouldn't have
She knows
expected
she's a racist.
this bullshit.
Dude, if
I'm
you
hiding my blog because you can get the blog on the Wayback Machine. If I open my blog, I can show you where pages are getting taken down.
Morbid,
Because they think there's malware on.
I agree with you where if you're going to be a fucking racist, fucking own it. She's a coward. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It
She's
is
a fucking
open
racist
to
and
anybody.
a coward. Where is it?
Scientific Skeptic read it.
Okay.
I did.
Or he read that bullshit that Bert Toast put up.
But you hit it since, didn't you? You hit it since, didn't you?
Before you hit
Oh,
it.
before you said you read all of it.
You hit
And you
it
went over
since,
it
didn't
carefully.
You hit it since, didn't you? When
I'm
all
not-
the shit, when all
You're so
the
stupid.
fucking heat came on you,
You're
you
so
hit it.
No.
Did you not?
That's exactly when I opened it.
And your apologetics tonight, I mean, you didn't even address
Bullshit.
the arguments that Burnt Toast made. You've not even addressed any of the...
Because she didn't make an argument.
No,
dude, you're
you
such
did.
a dude. How far up the ass are you going to be in Burnt Toast ass? Scientific.
Dude, I read and corroborated.
Dude, I could
for
go over her
myself
live,
the
which I could.
She was
arguments
attributing to me shit I didn't say. She goes, and she says that she
Claire,
reads
you-
a quote
you
from
know
somebody
this guy,
else.
Morbid? Claire, do you know this guy? I mean, is he always this stupid?
Yeah, no.
The guy's calling me stupid, ignorant.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay.
Listen.
Claire.
Wow.
I'm talking to
Listen.
Claire.
Didn't even read it. Sat there and said you read it, then you
Don't-
said you didn't read it.
Skeptic.
No, I have
Skeptic.
not read
Hold
any-
I used to
on.
respect your
Hold on.
opinion, but if you're going to lie about it,
Stop.
Claire, please.
Okay. Listen, Skeptic. Morbid is my friend, but
Okay.
No,
I
he's not.
feel like right now, Morbid, dude, you're
And he's
trying
not
to be
informed.
you're going out of your way to be controversial.
No, I'm not.
And
What I want to say,
He's
because
trying
I
to
don't
do
think
the both
Heels in the
sides.
Air
He's
is a
trying to do the
racist
both
like you're
sides
labeling
ism.
her as so
Yeah, because
she
easily.
don't
is a
know
fucking
anything.
racist.
I don't think so. Okay.
Dude, you haven't
How do
read
you-
anything. From what
Right.
basis? Upon
How do you know?
basis
How do you know
are making
scientific?
that de-
you're
Because
saying
I
I'm
read her
racist.
blogs.
Morbid. In
Because
all
I had
fairness,
an
you
opinion.
fucking haven't.
Yeah, but you haven't
read her blog.
Scientific, present me with something that's so
Was it the
racist,
Rihanna?
Read anything.
Was it
Because
the
she
Rihanna
blatantly
blog?
racist.
Okay, stop.
Every
Morbid.
single one
Morbid.
of her posts.
She hid her fucking. She hid her
Oh my
blog.
God.
She hid it.
Okay, but okay,
Morbid.
scientific
Every
said
post
She hid it.
was not against black people.
no. Scientific said something
Jesus.
specific about her blog,
Yeah,
and
say
where is he
something
getting
specific.
that from? He should have a screenshot. He said he referenced Burnt Toast's live. So let's see.
Yeah,
then.
hers is there.
All
So
right.
where is that?
Heels.
Fine.
Fucking make the blog public again.
Dude, you guys have
Okay.
screenshots of whatever you're
Make
talking
And it's
about.
on the Wayback Machine. I mean, they can get it anywhere.
Show that screenshot and we'll evaluate it right now. And we'll show
Make
it.
the
All right,
blog
go
public.
ahead. Show me the screenshot.
What
Show me
screenshot
the
are you
receipt.
talking about?
I'm supposed to have it. This community has been talking about this for the last.
There
5
is
days.
no screenshot.
Yeah, they have.
There is no
Absolutely
screenshot.
have.
I'm saying
So scientific.
Make the
So
blog
he's read.
public.
He's read Burnt Toast. That's
So
all
we
he's
can
done. He's
take-
read Burnt Toast.
No,
So
I've
we can
read
take the
your blog.
screenshots.
Which
No.
which part of the blog?
I've read the blogs on Trayvon Martin.
No, you're not gonna. You're not gonna gaslight.
I've read the blogs on
in front of me.
the family that
Fuck
had
that.
their child deemed.
Hey,
accidentally
Scientific, you
murdered.
have her right in front of
Yeah,
your
Kendrick
eyes.
Johnson.
No,
Why
I
don't you
do
just-
not have it right in front of
are
my
Why
eyes.
don't you just ask? Why don't you have an adult conversation with her? and ask her?
While you say stupid things.
I'm saying.
I'm saying stupid
fucking make
things.
the blog
I'm
public.
asking you to have an adult
I'm
conversation
not making
with
it
her.
public
You have her
Why
in
not?
front of
Why
you.
not?
because you
Why
have
not?
plenty of places they
Why
found it
not?
without it being public.
You're
Because I don't want to.
Why
It's my
not?
goddamn blog.
Yeah,
Morbid's
because you're a
trying to
fucking
wait for a
coward. You're a
conversation
fucking coward.
that you don't know anything
You're
about.
You're
a
fucking
fucking
Claire.
coward.
You're
a
oh
fucking
my
coward.
god.
All right.
You're a
Do you think
coward.
that bothers me?
Make the blog public.
No.
So we can take screenshots.
Well, what is
And
that
we
going to
can
do?
prove-
Let's say
it's
she
gonna
makes the.
prove that she's a
Because they
fucking racist.
just won't
It's gonna
stop.
prove that she's a fucking racist.
Oh my god.
No one had enough time to do screenshots of her blog.
Yeah, they've taken screenshots. They have
Make
access
the
to it.
blog public. Make the
No.
blog public.
No,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
do you hear what I'm
You're a
saying, though?
fucking coward.
Hey, Claire, do
You're
you
a
hear?
fucking coward.
I
Fuck
had
you.
it open.
You're a
Wait,
fucking
Claire, do you
coward.
hear what I'm saying?
You're a racist fucking coward.
Yeah, but you guys
Fuck
came
you.
to that
Do you think
conclusion
that bothers
with
me?
evidence, right?
From you?
No, I know it doesn't bother you. Because
No,
you're
it
a
doesn't.
fucking coward.
Because you're an idiot.
Hide. You hide. You hide.
Wait, Claire,
And
calm
here
down
you
for a
are.
second.
How am I
And here you
hiding?
are
Calm
wanting to be
down.
Look at me, hiding my
You want
racism for 2
everybody-
years.
You want everybody to fucking know.
And then over here, scientific
Because you're
skeptics quoting somebody else's below
fucking
expectation.
Make the
quote.
blog public.
Dude,
Do that all you want to.
her
Make the
blog
blog
was
public.
public, and people already
not gonna
got
be
the
public.
screenshots that they needed
They have
to
access to all of it. It's in the
How are
Wayback
you
Machine.
How are
One
you
step.
defending? How are you defending Morbid? How are you defending?
I'm not defending
this
her. I'm
person?
just.
You are defending her.
I'm really
because
not.
she could absolutely just make the blog public. If you're such a fucking, if you're so fucking, if you have so much conviction behind your shit, make it public.
Yeah, but
he's trying,
I mean,
he's trying to. Morbid's just trying to do the both sidesism of I don't.
I'm
know
really not.
anything
I
about this
don't
topic.
care,
Yeah,
honestly.
Well,
assuming
Skeptic,
that
give me an
someone-
example and don't give me burnt toast. I wish you'd pull up burnt toast because I did say part of it, but part of it she made it sound like it was from me, and it wasn't.
Bullshit.
No, it's not
No,
bullshit.
bullshit.
It's the truth.
It is bullshit. You read it tonight on your own post, and you misrepresented the argument.
Get her.
Hey, Scientific, you think that I need to take anyone's side? You think that
And did I
matters to me?
say
No, I
that the
think
part
you
that was
should be
mine?
informed on a topic before
You're a
you weigh
fucking
in on
liar. You're a fucking liar.
God.
And you're a racist.
Because if you're labeling her as racist, Scientific, and you
Prove you're not.
pointed out something, then
not
shouldn't
gonna
you have that evidence already? Why do you need something to be
You-
public again?
Morbid, have you?
Fuck
have you
all that,
read
Morbid.
any- have you
Fuck
read
all
any
that.
blogs?
Why? If she is not a racist, why doesn't she make the shit public?
It doesn't make her racist or not for
It's
not
why
making
it's
it public.
public.
It's
Why
been
is she
Yeah.
public.
hiding it? Why is she hiding it?
But
You're just saying that.
that's just the point to harp on, that she's not making it public, so she's guilty.
Yeah,
You
but
already
we
got
can
that
get
information.
Morbid,
We're
upon
past
what
that.
Yeah, every bit of it is in
upon
Wayback
what
Machine.
basis are you asserting to know
Scientific,
anything about
we're
this subject?
past this point. You already
I'm
have
asking
the
you.
information.
Okay. I had to really I sometimes, a mirror gets put in front of your face. This is what I do on this channel all the time. I put mirrors in front of other creators' faces. I say, this is you, this is what you're doing. Why not just own up to it? And I'm no different than anyone else. The only difference is I don't need someone else to put a mirror in front of my face. I'm perfectly capable of doing that myself. And so thinking about this stuff, I realized that for as long as the Gannon Stauch trial and other times before that verbally, but since the Gannon Stauch thing, I started this thing where I would add these little memes to my streams. And it's been months since I started, adding things like this.
You're a little cunt.
Like this.
Oi, cunt.
And
You're a magnificent cunt.
And for some reason, people are acting like this is new. I also reserve that word for special people. It's not a word that I just throw around. There are people, men as including, who I consider cunts. And I see some of you are agreeing that you love the word. I love the word. Some cuss words are just fun. And, I remember when I first heard the word motherfucker. I love the word motherfucker. I feel the exact same way about the word motherfucker as I do about the word cunt. There's no secret. All you got to do is watch me for about 10 minutes. This is a fact. So, but what's interesting, I'm noticing that in certain chats since this night that these things took place, in certain chats where I seemed welcome, and there's a vibe of, there seems to be this weird silent vibe of, do I still want to support this person? Let me look around and okay, good, Nunya. You were on panel there. That's fair. I didn't just call her that. I attacked her with that word. See, I don't see it that way. And this is what I'm talking about. Good, Nunya, I like you and I respect you. But this is, you right now are presenting, and I'm glad that you did. You're presenting a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because did I not just say that I got angry, that I was agitated and angry? And just because she didn't call me any names, just because she didn't raise her voice to me, did not mean that she was not an aggressor herself. The fact of the matter is this person, see, these little, mundane, these little semantic details are another thing that I have a very, very short sense of patience for. This is a person who attacked our community by being a liar. This is a person who attacked our community by making us all feel stupid. Now, in my opinion, I felt that I was speaking for the community. Now, not in the sense that I was the vessel for the community to speak through. That's not what I mean. I was speaking in defense of the community, in my opinion. That's what I was doing. This is something that I do often. This is something I've always done since I've started this channel. That is a fact, and nobody can dispute that. And I have apologized for the fact that seeing someone become angry and raise their voice, that can be triggering for whatever personal reasons that you may have. And I understand that. And that is something that I do apologize for. I wish that I had kept my cool a little bit better. But some might take this as, you're just making excuses. You're just making excuses. I am. And I feel that I should be excused. Absolutely. Because we are all human beings, and we are all blessed, but also cursed with emotions. I am perfectly capable of being
an angry person. There was a time where I was angry all the time. It took a lot of work, a lot of work to control this anger. I grew up as an angry kid, and the older I got, a lot of mistakes I made, and I have done as much as I can to control this, because nothing productive comes. I would be doing you a disservice if I censored myself. Everybody's always talking about how, Glare, Will, you're always so honest. You're always so raw. We appreciate that. It's so refreshing that somebody is finally up here being real. And then what am I going to do? To save a few subs, I'm going to give a half-assed bullshit dishonest apology, because then I'm fucking you guys over. Fuck the people who don't get it. Like, that's where that's where I'm at now. That's where I have decided to be. That's what this live is about. This live is more about a thank you to you guys for bringing me, after thinking and thinking and thinking and asking myself and second guessing myself and wondering, what do I do to appease those people who I've somehow offended? Fuck those people I've offended. That's how I feel about it. It's really funny because my sub count go down, and I'm watching any creator who I'm watching the chats that I go into where people used to be like, "Hey, what's up, Glare?" and I'd say hello, and that's not happening now, because I'm either in a chat where the creator doesn't know how to deal with it because they're worried about how other people are going to perceive them. What's the forecast like on whether or not we like the Glarer? I mean, fuck those creators too. Seriously. Because no matter what, if your ideals are on point, no matter what you say, no matter how you express yourself, if your ideals are on point, then I will support you or run away. I've always been that is something I just don't do. And if I did, it would be my business, but it's something that has not changed. So right now, the best me is a sober me, and that's why I'm sober. But if I had things to celebrate, I might drink. I like to drink. I like feeling turned. I'm a grown man. If I'm meeting my responsibilities, kiss my dick. So, as far as, where was I? Sun Tzu, right? So, that's the thing is, if you dig enough on somebody in here, you're going to find something. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most cowardly, douchey, cunty thing to do, man or woman, to go digging in someone's past and try to use it to fucking discredit them just because you don't like them. Now, if it's relevant to their behavior currently on YouTube, that's a different story. Right. Like Bullhorn Betty, her record that she doesn't take accountability for, by the way, is relevant to pointing out her bullshit on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that, it's a little different, but just because
Just because.
Now let's move to the third part that is a mix between Heels in the Air and Morbid, and how the glare was affected.
Treated it like an anything goes type thing, you know, and I was happy about it. And it was great, but there were times where I started to feel like I was being thrown under the bus. Hence the footage that we're already very familiar with, that he feels the need to go over again and again and again for no other reason other than the fact that when that last live happened, he decided, I quit, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. He quit right there and then. And me feeling like, okay, I'm going all in on this dude. I'm going to be completely and totally uncensored. I'm going to let my emotions just go nuts on his channel. Absolutely. I have an opportunity to do that. I'm going to do it. And I did. And I was kind of left out there with my dick flapping, you know, because the way that this dude would speak to me in private was much different than the way he was in public. There wasn't much difference in the way that I would express myself in regards to other creators in private with him or in public. So I didn't like that. That made me uncomfortable. Then when he says and he states that he quit, then I was just basically like, okay, what the fuck? Because, and I'm not saying this because he owes me anything, because I don't feel that he owed me anything other than what his word promised to deliver. That was it. The stuff that we discussed in private and what we had planned to do, and the sacrifices that I made, which he acknowledged many times, which was I was getting my name dragged through the mud. I was defending him when he was being accused of these horrible things that I still to this day do not believe are true. But I was getting lumped up into that. And I was getting my name trashed. And I was fine with that. All I expected in return was exactly what we had planned on. So I felt betrayed. And he did it publicly. And I felt betrayed. So after that happened, I did not get any animosity. I wasn't angry about it. I was angry about it for about a day, you know, because I was like, what the fuck? But then what happens to me, can't speak for anyone else, but what happens to me is when that happens, instead of holding a grudge, I just keep a certain distance between me and that person now. They've betrayed my trust. They made themselves out to be one thing and then showed me that they aren't. That's their prerogative. It would be silly of me to try to change that. This is a man in his 40s. It is not my responsibility to explain to him what he did wrong. It's his responsibility to be self-aware enough and be accountable. So therefore, I just kept my distance. And ever since I kept my distance, and then he decided to make this comeback, my name keeps coming up. Funny. My name keeps coming up. And then just the same old shit that everybody was already bore witness to is being dredged up and being used for content. And he's just crying like a fucking, like an ex-girlfriend. And this is the thing. Let me just jump right into why I went live tonight, because this is what I was going to do earlier. Half of this is what I was going to do earlier. Okay. Because this isn't really going to be about Morbid
Try to think of the rest of the stream like you would any other true crime case. Okay? Or try to think of it as any other, like me reviewing reviewing a case, reviewing the evidence of a case, reviewing any other creator who gets caught on their bullshit. But the reason why I want you guys to watch this, and being in this position right now, and this is a very important thing to pay attention to, folks, because this is probably, I'm notorious for self-sabotage. And this is probably one of the stupidest things that I've ever done on YouTube. But I got to tell you, the thing that was heavy on my heart did have to do with Morbid's live last night. That was absolutely heavy on my heart. But it had nothing to do with Morbid. I had already gotten the gist of what Morbid's character is. That's why I've kept my distance. I've already gotten the gist of it. I already saw it. But what was troubling to me was the way that the chat was cheering this on that was happening last night. And I'm going to explain, because a lot of you, as a matter of fact, the most of you that are in here right now were in that chat last night. And there were very, very, very few people that were seeing through what was happening. Now, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to go down the list, because the truth is, folks, if I went down the list, it's too many names. And many of you are in here tonight. Some of you even have wrenches. But I'm not naming any names. I'm not taking any wrenches away. That chat is still up. As long as Morbid is man enough to leave his content up instead of privating it all the time. But I was seeing this situation from a true crimer's perspective. That's how I was watching this. I was lurking and I was watching Morbid's live stream, all 5.5 fucking hours of it. Well, realistically, more like 5 hours stream, and there's a lot to cover. And I've got opinions all through it, folks.
Enough to forgive you. That one time that you just put my shit out there, even talking about my brother, also exposing my small business that I have that has nothing to do with YouTube.
Okay, now I want to start off by saying that this action speaks volumes of one's character. To use their YouTube platform to discuss and trash a romantic thing, or just to get in front of it because this person is, I mean, this is childish. This is middle school bullshit. We haven't even gotten into it yet. And I'm reluctant to do this because there's going to be a point where one could look at it as this poor girl is being humiliated, because she is. I will prove this. But also, you know, one might think this is sleazy, Will, because, you know, you're going to embarrass her that much further. Actually, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do the opposite because nobody spoke up for this girl yesterday. Nobody did. And I watched this woman in chat. I don't know this woman, never spoke to her, never, nothing. But I watched this woman in chat do nothing but respond respectfully the entire time. I've been saying this, but are you guys seeing the different perspective that I pointed out before starting this? Are you guys seeing what I'm talking about now? I mean, we're going to keep going. Don't worry. But like, are you guys seeing the different perspective now? Like, this dude had every opportunity to avoid this. Every opportunity in the world to avoid this. and now he's gonna whine and bitch. Right.
I'm like, at
That's
least it's
an
helping. I don't
important.
know, but just need to get through.
It's a very important point to point out there, Rubicon, because even if he doesn't avoid this, at no point does he simply confront her with how he's feeling. He should feel absolutely comfortable telling her, "Hey, listen, I kind of feel like I've fucking done a lot here, and you know, it's really kind of getting to me. And I'd really like to do a little more than just sit in this apartment. You know, I spent a lot of money, and you know, even though it's not about the money, but I spent a lot of money, and I'd like to use this time to be more proactive to having a good time. I want to make the best out of this situation. But instead, I'm just going to brood, and I'm going to fucking stomp around and under my breath whine and bitch about all of the things that you're making me do because you're so demanding and you're so mean to me. I mean, I put blackout curtains on the window before you came here. I did all this stuff. I brought you coffee. I made you coffee. I mean, just say something. So why is he up here acting like he was victimized in the whole thing? Yeah, buyer's remorse and other shit, sure. That's exactly my point, Brianna. It's all on him, dude. Like, you expect anybody here to fucking feel sorry for you. and you got people to feel sorry for you because you fluffed them up with all your anxiety bullshit. You know, like I saw right through it from the beginning of the stream, and I was just watching this chat going, unbelievable, dude. These are my supporters. How the fuck are they falling for this? We follow true crime. How are they not seeing right through this shit?
I will pause here for a sec. So if you are following true crime, you are somehow superior? Somehow elite? Don't fool yourself. You are just a normie with internet access.
Next week, next Thursday, you can fly out. Like, why would you leave her? I think she needed that. You can ask her. She's in chat. I don't know what she wanted me to say exactly. But that was my response, is like, instead of, I just said, how do you feel? What are you thinking?
Right.
And
let me put this on you. Let me twist this around on you. That is called projection and gaslighting. Let me twist this around on you. How do you feel? Why don't you just answer her? Why not just give her a straight answer? Sinner, you misunderstand. I don't take either one of them seriously in this scenario. It's ridiculous. This is me going over this content is such trash that my content going over it is trash.
I'm talking about it.
Like,
no, that's pretty prominent.
Nobody should be knowing about this, is my point. This dude threw a fucking tantrum over this girl hanging out with these fucking douchebags in this fucking live stream that he did this 5-hour live dragging her. That's all this was. This is this live stream that I'm reviewing right now is a reaction, is a temper tantrum to the live stream that he's going over right now. Third or fourth fucking time, the whole, I'm back. I'm gonna quit like a fucking bitch. I'm gonna have a fucking little titty fit, and I'm gonna quit. And I'm gonna go, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. It's all bullshit. The drama's too much. And then he's gonna come back all hard as like the sleaziest fucking drama channel ever. That's fascinating to me. I mean, like, y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see right through that. I wasn't getting the views that I was getting before. And I look at channels like Queen Bee gets all these views. Oh, well, it's the drama. The drama equals views. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all of the personal shit in my life, and since it's my life, it's justifiable. It's justifiable that I put other people's personal shit out there too. And I justify it because I could paint the picture that I'm a victim in the situation, which is very, very funny. And that's the thing is, you guys are gonna want, you're gonna want to know. You guys are gonna want to know if the stuff Morbid is saying about me is true, and was I a bad friend to him, or did I do this or did I do that? Here's the thing. It's none of your fucking business. And I don't give a fuck what you think about it. I feel no need whatsoever, and I want to be abundantly clear about this to those of you listening. I feel no need whatsoever to justify any of my actions in my personal life that take place behind the scenes with a YouTuber or otherwise. Is that understood? I don't give a fuck if you guys decide I don't like the Glairer. I don't care if you guys go, the Glairer owes us an explanation for what happened between him and Morbid. No, I don't.
And now the fourth and the last part. The Turtle Boy aka Aiden Kearney saga. I must add that in this part be Tim Lavin's segment 2. I won't go into the saga because by now everyone knows the details, but I will quote a paragraph from his book that you can find it on Amazon. I will leave the link in description. Quote, I am Turtle Boy, a teacher turned blogger battles big tech censorship, threats, and political correctness to protect free speech and democracy. I was a high school history teacher for 11 years, and during that time I learned the hard way that my opinions were the wrong opinions. After getting an unpaid suspension for starting a blog called AidenFromWorcester.com, which expressed opinions on issues that the school did not approve of, I decided to create an anonymous blog that would act as the voice of the people, Turtle Boy Sports. Blah blah blah. When I left teaching I felt liberated and free for the first time, but because our bloggers are unapologetic, brutally honest, we get a lot of pushback. We entertain by not only reporting news, but by using language that some might find unsavory. As a result, outside forces have used various methods to try to silence the blog. Turtle Boy has been the subject of countless boycotts. I've been unsuccessfully sued for libel many times, including by a former advertiser who was upset the blog didn't endorse him for mayor. I've gotten too many death threats to count, had "fuck you" keyed into the hood of my car, and been angrily confronted in restaurants. I've had a Facebook page with 112,000 followers removed for wishing people a Merry Christmas, and had 32 business pages taken down since. The blog has been blacklisted by Google AdSense, and my house and phone are permanently banned from creating Twitter accounts. Blah blah blah. This is the story of Turtle Boy. End of quote.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this John O'Keefe murder and this Karen Reed business because something stinks, people, and I think we all know it. I know a lot of you that are already in here already know it.
And I have a very special guest. This is who you guys are all here for. He's waiting for me backstage. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. I've got the man himself, Turtle Boy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, man. This really does mean a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
Happy to join. Always happy to cross whatever with new channels and meet new people and talk to new audiences about this very, very important case.
Yes, it is. It is very important. And I'll be now I'm still learning about this case. The way that I usually cover cases most of the time is I kind of just I let my audience kind of in on it as I'm learning, and I explore it live. I don't do behind the scenes research too much. And so I've been doing a few lives here and there and educating myself a little bit here and there. But actually most of what I've learned and come to terms with, I don't think that we have the same theories, but of course I'm not as educated on the case as you are. But before we get into all that, how did you tell me a little bit about yourself? Give me a little bit about your background.
So I'm 41, so I've got a long background, but basically I was a high school teacher for 10 years in Massachusetts, and I started blogging as a side hobby anonymously. Eventually I left teaching to do this full time. It's kind of a long story, but over the years, I've just been building an audience in the, I'm from a place called Worcester, Massachusetts. It's like an hour outside of Boston. And that's where I started. And then the market grew and we started getting a Boston audience in Rhode Island and New Hampshire. And now we've been growing pretty rapidly. And this case especially has brought us followers from all over the world, really. I've been doing stories kind of like this for years, investigative journalism, but I've never had a story this complex. And nothing comes close to how long this has lasted. I've been working on this almost for 6 months now. Usually when I do a story, it's over within a week. This one never ends because the twists and the turns just don't stop. And they're not giving up, even though it's quite clear that they should, the other side, because the facts are not on their side. Karen Read is a completely innocent woman. Everyone knows that. And yet they're just digging their heels in and they want to dance. So we have to dance with them. And here we are. Was at home in bed. And so that caught my attention immediately. And I said, if that's legitimate, then we have a murder cover up with like suburban cop families. Like, this is a wild story. So I went online and I read the entire 92-page affidavit from attorney Alan Jackson that he wrote about this case. And it had all the police reports. It's got all of the Celebrite data extraction of Jennifer McCabe's cell phone and John O'Keefe's cell phone. It showed that John was inside the house, ascending and descending stairs at the time he was allegedly killed by Karen Read. So it was, and I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like, they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like, that's what made it even crazier. Like, Jen McCabe, like, what? No, this can't be. But then the more I read, the more I realized, oh, wow, these are really well-connected people in town who had a lot of influence and a lot of power and just didn't want to see their family members go to jail. So they, threw the body out on the front lawn after beating him up in the house and placed him directly where they last saw Karen Read, waiting for him to text her back, and just said, well, we'll play it off like it was an accident. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe she won't get in trouble for it. It's just a horrible accident. And we can just say it's a horrible accident. Unfortunately, they went too far when they tried to charge her with murder. Even if this was how they said it was, to claim this is murder is insane. Like, if she accidentally hit him, like, that's wild. So they overcharged her, I think, to try to get her to take a plea because they just wanted this to be done with. But she didn't. But she dug in instead. So, and she's a resourceful woman and a very smart woman, clearly. And she hired a very good second co-counsel from Los Angeles by the name of Alan Jackson and his co-counsel Elizabeth Little, and they have done fantastic work with the cell phone stuff and just kind of adding a little spice to David Yanetti's.
What is happening, people? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, folks. Oh, like it's not even my birthday. Oh my goodness, dude. Listen, okay. So what I got going on today is a special treat. And listen, me and this dude, we got a little history. We don't like each other. There's no doubt about that. But listen, I want to be very clear about something. I will extend him the amount of respect deserved for at the very least, having the testicular fortitude, the cajones to come up here and talk to me about a case that we absolutely, totally disagree on. Because anybody else who I talk about, and I don't talk about him much, honestly, but anybody else who I talk about as far as what their opinions are on a case, if they absolutely, I usually challenge them. If I review them, I challenge them to come up here, and nobody ever has the stones to do it. So there's some respect here for B Tim for doing this, and he is backstage. Now Queen B is streaming this. If you guys don't know this guy, his name's B Tim. And I think he has a channel. I don't know if he has a channel. But I know that he panels a lot with Queen B, someone else who her and I, we've never really seen eye to eye at all. And he panels with her quite a bit. And they dabble in a different type of content that we try to do here. Now, I have listened to some things that B Tim has said as far as his opinions on this case. I have listened to those and we fundamentally disagree. Now, I want to be very clear about something. This is not, I know I labeled this a debate only because like it's probably, I mean, chances are it's going to end up happening. But since we disagree on this case, very, very, like I said, fundamentally disagree. We absolutely disagree. This case means a lot to me. This case is very, very, I normally only cover cases a lot, one particular case a lot if I'm passionate about that case. And this case, I've become very passionate about. And a lot of it, most of the reason why I'm passionate about this case is how much it's affected the people locally in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And those of you who watch the channel a lot, you guys know how I feel about it and what we've talked about, and we've watched in real time these things unfold and covered them pretty thoroughly. So I want to be very clear about something. To me, this is not about a pissing contest with B Tim. This is, I mean, who knows what'll happen, but this is not about that. For me, this is about using my platform to try to control to some degree misinformation being spread on something. You have it, right? Very passionate.
Yeah, I do. Continue.
No, that's it. I mean, that's it. And Turtle Boy is in jail because he's being railroaded in silence.
Well, do you want to debate about one case or two cases? Because I thought we were talking about Karen Reed. If you want to,
they're connected.
I don't see them connected. They're two separate cases.
Well, that's why you're here, so we can discuss that, and I can explain how they're connected.
You can believe Karen Reed's innocent and believe Turtle Boy is guilty, in your opinion. They're two separate cases. Yeah,
sure you can.
So why are you combining the two?
Okay, we're getting into semantics here. I'm explaining because I can actually show you why Turtle Boy's case is absolutely connected to the Karen Reed case. I mean, how could you say that they're not in the latest developments where it was Ken Mello, the special prosecutor assigned to Turtle Boy, not Karen Reed, who managed to seize Karen Reed's phones?
Yeah, because there's investigation.
So they're not connected?
Their investigation if there's collusion.
Okay.
So let's talk about Karen Reed's case because that's a pretext was sent
So
here
if there's
for.
investigation that there's collusion, you would have to logically agree that they are connected, yes or no?
No, their collusion on whether witness intimidation is going on. That's a separate charge for murder.
Which make witness intimidation for what case then?
For her case, for a murder case, but it's
For
separate.
the Karen Reed case, right?
I don't think
so
Turtle
they
Boy
are
had
connected.
I don't think Turtle Boy had anything to do with the murder of John O'Keefe.
Of course,
so
nobody's
they're separate.
saying that. Nobody's saying that. We're talking about the prosecution. We're talking about the investigation and the investigators that are involved in both cases. We're talking about the same district attorney that are involved in both cases.
How
They are connected.
I mean,
They're absolutely connected.
Are we going to get into the Karen Reed discussion? Or are we going to just?
We are.
Well, we're not really because we're talking about what the evidence.
You said they weren't connected, and I just explained
They're
how
not.
they were.
Well, that's your opinion, but I don't believe that. So we can disagree.
It's not a matter of opinion. If the special prosecutor who's assigned to the Turtle Boy case is seizing Karen Reed's phones because she believes that they are colluding in order to intimidate witnesses, then the cases are absolutely connected by those two things.
They're separate charges.
Of course, they're separate charges. We know they're separate charges.
So they're not.
Karen Reed has
related to that.
separate charges in the same case.
They're not
Of course.
related to that. But anyway, my positions. Let's go move on to the Karen Reed thing because that was what we were here to discuss. Thank
Sure.
you.
Why do you think that she is guilty?
I think she's guilty based upon the evidence. I think she's guilty based upon the Green report. I think she's guilty based upon the fact that there was glass fiber found on the back of the bumper. I believe she's guilty because there's microscopic plastic that was found on his cloth. I believe she's guilty based upon the Waze that basically disproves the Apple Health data that actually with the Green report. I believe she's guilty based upon.
What exactly disproves the Apple Health data?
Well, according to Waze, according to the Waze, it says that she, according to Waze, they basically at 12:20 from Dedham Street, they arrived at 34 Fairview at 12:24, and it's a mile and a half. Meanwhile, if you look at the
investigation was
data,
conducted. Okay.
Okay, you believe chain of custody was broken. That's what your basis of your opinion is.
I'm not saying that I never said that it was broken. I said that the evidence was mishandled.
And how was it mishandled?
Because items of his clothing weren't recovered until 5 days after the actual incident. So that makes me question. That makes me question the integrity of the investigation altogether. That's just a drop in the bucket of the things that make me question the integrity of the investigation.
I don't want to, I'm asking this question so you can deny what my question is. Do you believe that officers came and grabbed his clothes, embedded plastic, and then other pieces of clothes and went back to the scene and buried it in the snow?
I'm saying if I were a juror and a defense attorney presented that and explained to me that it wasn't recovered until 5 days later, then I would have to doubt that it was recovered in a timely fashion. I would have to doubt. I would have to say that there could have been anything. There's 5 days for for these pieces of evidence to be tainted in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, the black straw, the broken cocktail glass, the shoe, the phone, all there.
Right. The all recovered late, all recovered way later.
Yeah, it's called an investigation.
Why would Michael Proctor not log 5 different searches?
Because
5 different searches.
team...
Hold on. Why would Michael Proctor? No, Michael Proctor found these pieces of taillight, some 32 pieces or 34 pieces of taillight. He found them on 5 separate occasions and undocumented searches.
They found more pieces when the snow melted.
What
other officers?
So is that standard? Do you think that that's standard? That
are you a cop?
To investigate? No, but I follow enough cases.
I'm not a cop.
I follow enough cases to where.
How many years have you been following cases?
At least 5.
Okay, so when you do 20
Okay,
years,
so,
come to me.
So you explain to me any other case, reference any other case where the police waited for snow to melt in investigating the death of a Boston police officer or any police officer anywhere. You explain to me.
Can you reference a case?
No.
Why are you asking me to reference a case like that?
Because you're acting like it's standard operating procedure.
You don't know what what is standard operation procedure for an investigation like this? Tell me.
Well, I mean, I would have to have a police officer up here to
Thank you. So why
that.
are you sitting here saying you don't understand, like this is not standard operation procedure when you don't know?
Because it's fucking plain and simple.
But you
that
don't
there's
know.
No investigation where that has ever happened.
If you're for truth and truth, if you want truth, why don't you invite a Boston police officer or retired one to do an interview and discuss?
Doesn't have to be a Boston police officer.
I think that would be very educational to people if you invite in a police officer to talk about procedures.
No, I actually have one lined
We're
up.
talking about good. What are
Anybody,
you talking
right.
about?
I
This
mean,
is
that's
science.
your job. That's right. What's the science?
Not my job. I don't work for the police department, sir,
What's
nor
the
the
science
defense.
that would explain to me the science?
Do you
that
know
would
the
explain
science?
how?
Why are you
No.
asking a question you don't know?
No, I don't know the science.
Then why would you ask a question like that? That's a
all I
ridiculous
know is
question.
that if that evidence wasn't preserved properly, those pieces of plastic could have gone
So you
undisclosed
think
at any
that-
given time. Those
You
pieces
think-
of plastic
wait.
had 5 days.
I want to
5
get you
days
down
to end
on
up on
this.
his clothes.
How do you think he did it? Just jump. Do you think Proctor or our officer came there and sprinkled and embedded fucking plastic onto his club shirt? State it.
I don't know how it ended up there, but I know that I know that I believe that
I told you how it
that
stated for
John
me.
O'Keefe was in that house.
Okay,
So
let's jump to
explain-
there. Oh, jump to
let's-
there. Okay, we'll jump to that point. Sure. There's another point of contention. You bring up the fact that he went into the house, but the GPS data doesn't show that he went in the house.
It doesn't matter that the GPS data.
What do you mean the
doesn't show
GPS
the
data doesn't matter? It's an essential piece of evidence.
Okay, so the way the GPS data works, it does not pinpoint one particular location. It pinpoints
Wrong.
basically that's how it
No,
works.
you're wrong because
how it
GPS has usually depends on the signal. And at that time, the signal was like weak and then it got stronger and stronger and it went down to 72, a radius of 72 feet that only meets up to the door. And he never moved. He never moved around in the house at that time.
So explain how he went up.
Explain also,
explain how he went up 3 flights of stairs then.
The problem with that theory is because he was in the car. The ways to say basically said at 12.
Wow, I'd love an SUV with a fucking staircase.
It's not a staircase, sir. It's how they basically presented it. He was in the car because it was impossible for him to go 3 flights of stairs. If the Waze GPS says at 12:20, he was actually looking for the address at Dedham. Okay, it's impossible. So because it takes you 3 minutes to get there. So the time he got there was 12:24 and 24 seconds. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, I chat. I know. I mean, but I want to give him an opportunity to find this document that we all know that the laws, the laws prohibit such a document to be public because this child is a minor.
Okay, it says here on page 22.
Could you share the link in the private chat for me, please?
Sure, because they use initials, so I'm assuming that they talk to her. Here, give me a moment. Give me a second. I'm sorry for the wait. The Streetmar links. Here you go.
Oh, I got 2 pots of coffee, dude. I got 1 in a thermos. I'm ready to go, homie. We're good.
On February, I think on page 22 of that document, and it says here, let me see. On February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew, CF, and the 14-year-old niece, KF, of the victim were interviewed at New Fork Advocates for Children's Center.
Wait. You said page 22?
Yeah, 22.
All right, let me get there real quick. I'm almost there. Oh,
they interviewed him.
What the hell just happened? Okay, hold on.
It says starts at February 22nd on both the 10-year-old nephew and CF.
Okay.
And they use initials because they're children, obviously. They're not going to put their real names on there because when you're under the age of 18. It says, you can read it. I mean, on February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew and CF and the 14-year-old niece KF of the victim were interviewed in New Fork Advocates for Children Center in Foxborough.
You're going to answer for me now?
That's the answer.
No, it's not. Because what I'm saying here is, how do you know the circumstances in which this is a third party saying this is what this person indicated to me. Someone who indicated to me, somebody who has repeatedly collected evidence in a very questionable way is stating what a child said that's
not Proctor. That's not Proctor collecting the statement, sir.
Well, I mean, any of the detectives.
It's a child, sir. It's another service for children. It's the New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Salisbury, Massachusetts. It's not Mr. Proctor collecting the statement.
Who wrote this statement here?
That's the statement that they got. The person who interviewed a New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Salisbury, Massachusetts. They're the one that got the statement. And he wrote it down what they copied, whoever they did. So unless you this is what the kids said. The kids said that initially she kept on changing her story. She changed her story.
No. Scroll to the bottom. It says respectfully submitted for the Commonwealth, Michael Morrissey by Adam Lally. The
interview was done by
who?
By the Advocates for Children Center in Foxbury, Massachusetts. They were interviewed by them. So are you saying that they're part of the conspiracy now? The lady changed her story. Then she changed her story again.
It doesn't say that anywhere here.
It says it on the top. It says here on February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew and CF and the 14-year-old niece KF of the victim were interviewed at the New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Frostburg, Massachusetts.
By who?
By probably an advocate.
By probably an advocate, or by the TA? By Lally.
So you think they're just you think he's just making this kid's being forced to testify to fake information?
No, I'm saying, who the fuck knows who talked to this kid, or if the kid even talked.
Is this a debate about facts, man? Because I put a lot of facts, and you keep on saying, I don't know, I don't remember.
If you can't share with me a name, if I'm a defense attorney, I'm gonna go, okay, well, who conducted this interview?
Well, that's gonna be for trial. I can't give you names of like children advocates. I'm sorry.
So it's not evidence.
It is evidence in the document. It's like it's going to be evidence.
No, it's not. It doesn't prove anything. From the house.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the taillights intact.
I don't see the taillight. I only see one side.
You can see it.
I only see one side. I only see one side. Intact. There's two sides.
I mean,
and it's not a great photo. It's not a good photo, bro.
But see, here's the thing: is if I was a defense attorney and presented this, and I was, you know what I mean, and you were a juror, you'd have to go, okay, well, I don't know.
Your theory is that the cops.
I don't have a theory.
Then what the hell are you doing here? I mean, you don't have a theory?
Of course not. Of course not. I don't have a theory. I have a theory that. All I have is a theory that I don't have a theory. I have proof that this investigation was conducted in at least a negligent manner.
I have no clue. I'm insinuating corruption, but I don't want to really commit to saying it's corruption. Why don't you just Full
no,
on, go on.
I'm insinuating. I'm stating the possibility of corruption is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm stating the possibility that Karen Read hit her hit John O'Keefe with the back of her car and then try to cover it up.
We know that. We know that that's possible.
Definitely
we know that that's possible, but it's not fact. It's improvable. It's not provable.
It's going to be tried in trial. That's the evidence that they're going, and the prosecution's probably going to release a lot more evidence, and we're going to watch it.
Explain to me why this investigation is under federal investigation.
Why is this investigation? Because basically, I mean, I have to think because I'm trying to think.
No, please take your time.
No problem. I think I watched the review of The Lawyer That Wants to Know, and it seemed to be like some sort of bickering match, and they were looking into the department. I believe there was I don't have notes in front of me about this, so I'm a little bit iffy about it. So I believe there was some sort of bickering between the two offices. I think they were looking into investigating the office, and it was very weird. I would say that much. It's a very weird situation. I would say that much.
I think that it's politically
and I actually
driven
agree with that,
in a witch hunt, but we're talking apples and oranges here. You can't compare
I mean,
that.
like, I'm just saying,
you can't
FBI is not
You're
always
making
right.
ridiculous points right here.
It's not a ridiculous point. I'm
saying that the feds have a 97% success rate.
Well,
based
not
on
with
their
Donald Trump.
investigations. How do you know that? I mean,
so you think Donald Trump's guilty?
No, I'm saying I don't know. I haven't followed.
A lot of I don't knows. There's a lot of I don't knows in this debate.
What does that have anything to do? I'm trying to be very respectful towards you for coming onto this channel, and you're making it extremely difficult. So I'm warning you.
Okay.
I'm warning you. If you're trying to get me to just boot you the fuck off, then we can end this now. But I'm trying to have a healthy debate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so quit acting like a fucking child.
I think someone else is acting like a child, sir. You didn't answer one question.
Yeah, no, I have. I
asked you how the plastic got there. You said I don't know.
I'm the one pulling these things up.
You had snow covering the back of that light. It was a terrible picture of the back of the taillight. Couldn't see jack with it. Okay. Then you got some TikTok guy doing an interview, some rando from a tow truck place that I don't even know if it's actually a vetted witness. And then like you're refuting the evidence in the memorandum. I mean, come on, man. What is this? What is it?
What is what?
I mean, like, for instance, let's go to what
are you
is
talking
it?
about what's on the screen right now? It's a fucking document, dude.
No, I'm talking about what is with you. You haven't committed to any answers. You're telling me to commit all these answers, explain things to you.
That's my point.
Your point is that we just don't commit to any answers.
No, my point is that we don't have any evidence that Karen Read is guilty. No definitive evidence that Karen Read is guilty.
Yeah, that's why we have a trial. But I can have an opinion. I can have an opinion. I think she's guilty.
Nobody's faulting you for having an opinion.
Kind of.
What I'm asking is what are you basing your opinions on?
I just showed you multiple documents of evidence that why I based my opinion.
And I refuted your.
No, you didn't. You first tried to lie to me. You tried to say that the kids never got interviewed.
Who conducted the interview, dude?
Oh, but it's like kids. I mean, like it's like everything I bring up.
Why is every witness statement not signed?
I mean, if every single piece of evidence I bring up,
show me a witness statement that's signed.
I mean, every single piece of evidence I brought to you, you says, I don't know. It doesn't, it's not vetted. It's not, but then you grab a recording. Why is it signed? It's signed by
why aren't the witness statements signed, dude?
Well, I'm sure they're going to testify. So that's their statement, sir. It's a court document. It doesn't, what are you talking about?
Right,
also,
I know. And it's not valid unless it's signed.
Okay, so we're gonna live in that.
I mean,
court documents are not valid.
It's a witness statement. Okay. That's
judge,
my point.
Why isn't the judge throwing it out then?
Because it hasn't gone to trial yet, genius.
Okay, so there's no motion practice to have it removed from the lawyer?
I mean, they haven't gotten to that point yet, but they have been filing motions.
Sure.
They have been filing motions. Why
Why did it take over a year to get so much evidence in discovery for the defense to be able to review?
I mean, Young Thug took a year for his jury selection.
What does that have to do with? What does that have
trials
to do with
take a while? Trials take a while, man.
Will you shut the fuck up for a second so I can finish?
It sounds like you're cursing a little bit at me. I'm sorry.
I'm absolutely cursing because you're acting like a fucking dickhead. So listen and shut up for a second.
I mean, listen, I'm having a conversation.
Shut up for a second.
Let's
answer the question, dickhead.
Listen, it sounds like you're losing. And now you're getting mad. Ad hominem attacks. Interesting. Interesting.
No, I'm trying to ask you a question.
I've answered them.
And you're not letting me talk.
Go.
I'm trying to ask you a very simple question when you're not letting me talk. I'm trying to stay on task here. Okay? Now, are we good now?
I mean, I would like an apology because you cursed at me.
Why did it take a year for the prosecution to share discovery with the defense?
Reasonable. I don't know. Same as your thing. I'm not the I'm not the prosecution.
That's not suspicious.
Well, that's suspicious to you, but trials take a while.
The trial hasn't started yet, B-Tim.
I mean, yeah, it takes a while to set up. I mean, you're laughing, but you haven't answered any of my questions.
I'm laughing because you're
the one that's
to avoid simple points. And
it's
yes,
not,
I curse.
It's very simple. Channel. I mean, whatever. I don't curse at people. So, how about the bite? How about the supposed bite marks and claw marks? Why don't we move on to that?
Okay, sure. What's your question?
Do you think it's bite marks or claw marks?
I think that could be either or. I don't know, but I know that Melanie Little had a dog training expert who absolutely dictated that he and other colleagues say without a doubt that those injuries came from a dog.
Well, why did they send it to a test lab in California and determine it was not dog DNA or basically?
That's a good question. Why was it sent to California?
I mean, because that's where the test was formed. I mean, I don't know what labs. Are you a lab expert? Do you know which is the best lab to test things?
Are you?
No, but that's what it was. They basically set forth that that it's not dog DNA, and also those are not uniform claw marks or bite marks.
Except they never tested it for dog DNA, though, dude.
They sent it to California to test out.
Was it tested?
Yes, it was.
Really? Show me where it was.
Show me where it was.
Show me the document that says that it was tested.
I have to show you documents. You don't have to show Jack. Okay, bro.
What are you talking about? I've been sharing the screen.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Here, dude.
Okay, bro. Let me see. I believe it was in an article. Oh, one moment. I got playing music on the background, sir. Yeah, if you don't shut up that music, I'm probably going to skedaddle. I'm not going to be disrespected like this. You're not going to disrespect me like that. I want an apology.
I'm just waiting for.
I'm waiting for you to apologize now for that outburst.
Where's the document?
Why don't you apologize first? Because I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'll skedaddle out of here.
Where's the document?
Why don't you apologize?
It sounds like you're scared and you just want to leave.
No, it sounds like you're just being kind of rude.
I'm definitely being rude.
Yeah, well, I don't appreciate that.
Been rude. You haven't been rude to me this entire time and talking over me this entire time.
I mean, I've been talking facts of the case, and you haven't. So I suggest
I'm waiting for this document that states that the.
You know what, sir? I'm done with you. I demand an apology.
You brought it up. You wanted to talk about. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. So. I mean, where's this document? I mean, he brought up people.
So this is the end. I left out some important parts, including an interview for which I requested the approval to use, but didn't get any reply, but I will leave the link in the description of the video. Like I said, I don't follow any kind of remuneration. I don't want any kind of clout chasing. I just hope that someday maybe someone that will have questions regarding the Glare and his ways will find his or their way to this documentary, and maybe we'll get some answers. I want to say that I've tried my best, but I will lie. My real life is busy, and this documentary took me many hours of research and some hours of editing. I am not trying to build myself a statue, but this is the reality. Plus, I've tried to present the events as they happened. Maybe I failed. Until the next time, be yourself, stay tall, and never hesitate to express your opinion if it's one based on facts. And a short note for the subscribers and members of channels: don't let anyone public shame you because you like or dislike someone. That's the lowest form of manipulation. Life is not in black and white. You have many colors to pick from and many choices. And as long as you like your choices is all that matters. Because in the end, it's all about you and yourself. I hope to see you soon.